When the moment came where I could feed myself doing my job, that was amazing. I remember the moment I was sitting in my favorite Japanese restaurant, and up until that point, I'd only been, I've been doing acting for like 10 years at that point, right? Like, in my head, oh yeah, only 10 years. And then I recall the moment I sat down, I looked at the menu, and the first thing I didn't look at was the price, right? And in my head, it was like, oh,
you're a grown-up now.
Adults.
For me, this as-up is still not good.
Do you want me to try and catch it while you answer
Yeah,
the question?
it's only 2 balls left.
Right.
Two?
Okay, don't be mad at me, okay?
No, it's fine, it's fine. It's the Lake Trio, they are very stubborn. So I think I had kind of 2 moments. The first moment was when I was working on Dragon Age Inquisition. Because like, that was, my favorite game franchise, and getting to work on it in any capacity. It was like baby's first video game gig, and I just wanted to cry. But I also realized, so yeah, it's rude, isn't it? Last one, I believe in you, and if you don't, it's totally okay. Like, I don't.
I believe in you, Kaiji.
I realized that my anxiety quieted while I was working, and when it's okay. No, it's okay. No, it's totally fine. Because they're very stubborn. The mythical Pokemon are very stubborn in raids, so I don't fault you for it. I've had them run on me a million times, and I didn't miss a single ball. Okay. So when I realized my anxiety quieted when I was in the booth, even though I was so anxious walking into the session, and then as I was working, I was like, oh, okay, it shuts my brain off in a good way. And the other time was kind of similar to you. I worked desk jobs prior to Duvio, and it was the moment when I realized I made more money that year than I would have made doing a whole year, like in the hourly marketing job that I did, or in the whatever job. And I was like, okay, this is officially, I'm making more money doing this than I was working my desk job. Okay, I think I've got this.
I don't know. For me, I still genuinely feel like I don't know. I worry every day because I'm because we are independent contractors. We don't have a steady career or anything. So it's always the fear of, oh great, we go in, I do this amazing thing, and I feel great about it, and then as soon as I leave the building, I'm like, oh god, I'm unemployed. Oh god, oh god. But no, kind of one of the big moments for me was. With Fire Emblem, because I went to E3. It was the first year I got actually accepted to go to E3, and I was standing in line, and they played the Nintendo Direct where you see the time skip trailer, and I could hear myself for the first time, and I'm like,
kill every last one.
Yeah. And it was the first time I ever heard myself in it, because I've told you before, every time I work on a project, my assumption is I've been recast until I actually hear it.
But truth be told, that does happen sometimes.
Yeah,
the final
it's
product. It's the product comes out and you're like, oh shit, I got replaced. I got invited to another raid battle. Hell yeah! It's my new Brazilian friend. No, it's great. Those of you who play Pokemon Go, it's just literally someone from Brazil, and I'm like, yes, if we can exchange gifts, those postcards are gonna be great. And it's a Mega Gyarados. Come on, let's go. This is gonna be a theme.
But yeah, hearing myself, I'm like, oh god, I'm actually in the thing. So it happens to me over and over again every time I work on something. I'm like, when I hear the final thing, I'm like, I guess I am doing the thing. Okay, wow, okay, cool. Until the next one.
For me, my career has been really methodical. I didn't start in Los Angeles, I started in Virginia, and so it became keeping a lot of spreadsheets and being like, okay, am I going to out-earn, my government job? So there was not really a moment.
It was a spreadsheet for me
where,
too.
yeah, it was a spreadsheet where we're like, okay, I can do this. But I remember one moment where I kind of it clicked a little bit. I guess it's a little bit of a dour story, but I was in a workshop. My first workshop I ever did in Los Angeles was 2015, maybe 3 months after I moved. If you don't know my background, like everybody up here, I used to be a military intelligence officer. And then worked for the FBI, CIA afterwards for a couple of years. And I was in a workshop with a director named Charlie Adler, who was if you don't know Charlie, he's the most vulgar person you'll ever meet in your entire life, but he's hysterical, great director.
Deeply gay.
Yeah, deeply gay.
And vulgar and gay, the way I immediately vibed with that man.
It's great. But I was very new to LA and very new to character acting and animation acting, and I came out of the booth after doing something for him, and he went, "You've only been doing this for a year? How are you so calm?" And like I thought about it for a second, and I was like, oh, if I screw up in there, nobody dies. What a luxury. And since then, the stakes have just been so low. Because like I've experienced that contrast of like decisions having really large impact and oops, take two. It's all gravy from here, man.
It's all perspective. My crazy thing that happened to me was I moved into being the main character in a AAA action RPG just because I asked them way too many times. I was doing like scratch tracks for Dying Light 2, and in every session I was recording in my closet. I'm just like, hey, I know what this game is, I know what the vibe is, I know what you guys want. Just let me try it. Let me try it. Let me try it. And every time the Polish director on the other side was just like, I have no control over that, so sorry, I can't really help you out there. But I kept asking, and eventually they said, sure. After a round of auditions, they're like, we couldn't find anybody that sounded like you did, and then they started like molding the character around like me as a person and like taking my headshots and making him like look like me and like talk like me and asking me to like help write dialogue and stuff. But there's a whole team of awesome writers that I was like working with to like make this a little bit more localized because the whole thing was in Polish. Anyway, when the game came out, there was a trailer at E3. You mentioned E3. There was a trailer at E3 2016, and I got to hear my voice on like an E3 trailer, something that I would watch since I was a kid, like growing up watching video games getting released and announced and stuff like that. And my voice was coming out of this character, doing the narration and everything, and everybody thought it was Troy Baker. So I guess that's a win.
That's really when you know you made it.
Right? No. I feel like the moment you know you made it is when, like, at least for me, it was like Laura Bailey. They stopped assuming it was Laura Bailey, and now they assume other people are Allegra Clark. And like, I feel kind of bad, but I'm like, I think I've made it. They're wrong.
A little anecdote
They
I have
cannot recognize my voice.
Actually, I think the true moment is when you get that audition email and it says like, we're looking for someone kind of like Allegra Clark, but then you get it, right? And then you audition for it and they don't cast you.
Never book it.
I did an audition once where like two of the references, and by the way, for those of you who played both Dragon Age and Fire Emblem Three Houses, you're gonna be like, why were these two references together? It was Josephine and Shamir. And I was like, these are very different characters. Why are they both here? But I was a reference twice, and people kept messaging me like, you should get this. And I was like, I was actually giving them tips on the audition and going like, nah, this is what they're actually looking for. I think like they're looking more for Shamir, but they're looking for like the bespoke, like, AAA, the fantasy BioWare feel. So like Josephine is like an acting reference, Shamir is a character reference. I did not book it. And that's happened at least twice.
It's always so funny.
It's so funny, but like I don't care, honestly. It's kind of, it really is funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
You're doing all right. You're doing great.
Doing great.
Doing great.
Thank you for
Oh my
volunteering.
gosh, it's so easy with y'all. Okay, so